Hi guys, it's Sarah. Welcome back to another video here on my channel. Today we're going to be building my take on a treehouse. It's going to be here behind me in my orchard, and while I love the way it turned out, it definitely doesn't look like what I think most people consider a treehouse. It's more of like, I don't know, it's my take on it. It's like a raised platform situation. I made almost like an overlook, I guess you could say, tucked away, and I really like it. So I'm gonna guzzle down a million pumpkins because I have a huge orchard that I've never messed with. And I have so many trees to take down. So I hope you guys enjoy this little, it's pretty satisfying to watch, I think, of just the cleanup process before we get started. And I'll pop back in once we get to our first construction part. So as you can see, I basically decided to just carve out a chunk on both sides. Here I am trying to decide how big I wanted it to be platform-wise. So yeah, I carved out a pretty big chunk on both sides to make like a double layered orchard. So they'll end up being trees to one side, a divot with more trees, the raised part, and then the same on the other side, so that you've got a little bit of like level to it. And I like the way that it created a division of space, but again, because of the area that I ended up deciding to put this at, I didn't really have the ability to carve out like the front of it. And I think what I'm gonna do right now is just live with it as it is. I could have, of course, like raised up this section up to the third level, and I did consider that, and I almost did it, but I have all of my inclines up already, and I couldn't think of one that would look good being taken down, so I ended up just sticking to this. And I figured, worst case, I can build like a the faux skitty land bridges and maybe carve out the front section of this like treehouse thing if I end up not liking the way it looks, and then keep like a connecting piece of like land bridge to connect where the farmers market area is to where the like overlook treehouse is. But I don't know, I ended up really enjoying it, so my plan right now is to just like play with this and take some pictures and maybe have people over to look at it in person and let it grow on me, because as of right now I really like it, but I would like to, you know, be open to change. That's a big theme of like my time on my island recently and everything I've been working on. I've just kind of been letting go of like the areas that I was like, oh, I'll never touch this because it's perfect, because I like changing it up and trying out new things. And if you hold on to everything too preciously, I think it gets old pretty quick. That's when because it feels like, okay, I've done as much as I can possibly do, no more changes, I must keep everything just the way it is. You're like, what is she doing here? This is me realizing that for some reason I have 3 trees on one side and 4 trees on the other, and I had to figure out that it's because I didn't make the front of the area even. You can literally see the fence right there where it's like curved. It makes that little corner. Yeah, see, they're not even because I when I first started, I was like planning to make space to walk between the two areas so that the orchard was still connected to the overlook, and I guess I just forgot. And so I thought it was funny seeing myself clearly counting the trees and being like, what? So here I am pulling out the stuff for my like bee, like honey area, and I'm gonna go back behind this in a second and kind of clean up all of like where you see the what is that, the the wooden fence, I'll clean all of that up because I liked the idea of there being like pathways that you could walk. And I'm excited to continue decorating the rest of the orchard. I think I'm gonna do like a small spaces video where I decorate kind of the tiny areas. Like you can see that little cute space right in front of those two pear trees behind me, and I have a couple areas like that where I don't really know what I want to do with them, but they're small and I think they could go in a video together instead of being, you know, standalone decoration spots. And I think that would be fun to see. So let me know how you guys feel about that. Just like how to fill small spaces or ideas for small spaces, you know, that kind of thing. And then, in a very unoriginal twist, I chose wood planks for my treehouse like base, and I really like this coloring on this is one of the in-game paths, and I don't use it anywhere else, I don't think. I almost used it in my post office build, and then I ended up changing my mind and keeping it more of like natural pathing. So I'm really glad that I have this huge chunk that I can use it on. I definitely would have used it as my boardwalk planks, but we can't put in-game paths on the beach because that makes sense. I know we all want Brewster's Cafe and new items and stuff, but honestly, I just want to put pathing on the beach. It's so frustrating that we can't do that. It seems so silly, but it looks really nice. Here I am thinking I'm gonna make it even longer, and then doing that, dropping that apple. Don't worry, I put the apple back, see? And now I'm gonna make a million log benches, and I was really indecisive. I've seen people do the log benches, I've seen people do the log stakes or a combination. I've seen people do the bunk bed thing that we have, that item, or even jail bars down from the lower level. I considered the jail bars, but I didn't love the way it looked. I only had one made, and I did not keep it in this video, but I did test it out just so you guys know. And I just felt like for what I was going for, it almost made it look like, what's the word, like abandoned, I guess, because of like the rusty color of the bars. It just wasn't the aesthetic. I wanted like a cozy spot, and it took it to this like abandoned orchard area thing, and I didn't like that. So I went with a combination of the log chairs and the log stakes, and I'm gonna go now and just let you guys watch, because it was a fun process trying to figure out how I was gonna use the different items and the different fences. And I cut stuff out, just know that. As you guys sit here and enjoy the speed through of it, I cut things out, but this took a long time to get to something I was happy with. as you can see, I got so frustrated here with trying to figure out how to do the fences and stuff that I just gave up and did some pathing for a second because it always makes me feel calmer. But we'll get back. We'll get back now. Right, and then I took a break because I finally finished all of this and I came back like 3 weeks later. If you caught the date of the first clip, I think I started recording this on like May 6th. Although I time travel a lot, so I honestly don't know. I think I filmed this right before I went on my little vacation home and finished it, I don't know, 2-3 weeks later. I don't know. I needed a break. But I'm really happy with what I ended up doing with the fences and the log furniture. And I tried to use that arch. I really like the arches, the spooky arch and the fall arch specifically. And I used them a couple different areas on the island, but it didn't fit here. It's just too, I think it was a little too colorful. It looked nice, but it also like impeded the walkway because it's already a little uneven, and trying to put the archway there, you kind of had to like shimmy through it because of where the tree is instead of just walking straight. So I just took it down, but you know, who knows, I'll probably put one in the farmer's market or something. And then you can see here I'm starting to do some blankets, put some blankets down, and I'm really happy that I went with this idea. I toured, if you guys saw my tour from Friday, I went to Peapod Crossing's most recent Neverland. Had these blankets, or I think just one big blanket on her treehouse, and it really inspired me. I really liked it. So you can see here I'm adding one to mine, and I'm going to move it down because I don't like that it cuts off on the grass instead of just going straight right there. That's so weird to me that it does that, but it looks weird, so I'm gonna fix it, don't worry. And I'm actually gonna put two down, which I don't do blankets very often. I have like a few random ones in different areas on the island, and I'm really liking them, so I'm glad I put them down. I wish I had the ability to have more. I know you can do like diagonal blankets and stuff like that. I don't have enough slot space for that because, as you can see, I have a lot of patterns. I really like codes. But I have these two here, and I think they're really cute. I think they add a lot to the space. So I'm gonna go again and let you guys just enjoy more speed through. with that finishing touch, our treehouse space is complete. I know it's definitely not your normal treehouse. It does not look the way that I have seen most people do them. I still really like it. I think it fits the area really well, and it encapsulates like a cozy feeling in the new vibes of the island that I'm going for. It really reminds me of like the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse from Disney World. So if you guys have ever been there, or if you've seen pictures, maybe you'll pick up on that vibe too. It feels like an adventure spot, and I love that there's lots of little places to sit. You could have multiple conversations in groups hanging out at once, doing different things. It's just very cozy, very fun. I'm really, really happy with it, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching. And like I said, stay tuned for some other small build areas coming up, and if you guys have anything specific you'd like to see me make, let me know down below. I have new videos for Animal Crossing every Monday and Friday, and I hope to see you guys around. Thanks for watching. Bye!